They call him the Godfather of AI. But if you ask him what humanity should do to prepare for a world dominated by superintelligence, his answer is a chilling joke. Train to be a plumber. Why has the Nobel Prize-winning pioneer, the man whose groundbreaking work shaped the future of humanity, suddenly decided on such a primal, low-tech career path? Because he is terrified of what he helped unleash. He explains that his ominous title came from a lonely, decades-long pursuit. Back when few in the field believed it, he pushed the radical idea that artificial intelligence could be modeled on the human brain, that it could learn complicated things like visual recognition and reasoning. He pushed that vision for 50 years. Google eventually bought his technology, and he worked there for 10 years, building the foundational systems that are now used all the time in modern AI. Then, he abruptly walked away. He abandoned the pinnacle of his career so he could finally speak freely at conferences and to the world about one thing: just how dangerous AI could be. He lays out the terrifying reality. These machines will one day get smarter than us. It's an unprecedented moment in human history, one we have no framework for handling. When you are no longer the apex intelligence, your life changes completely. He issues the same chilling challenge: if you want to know what life's like when you're not the apex intelligence, ask a chicken. The risks are twofold. First, the immediate short-term dangers from bad human actors misusing AI. Second, the truly existential long-term threat from an AI that achieves superintelligence and decides humanity is redundant. And this runaway train can't be stopped. It simply won't be stopped because it is too good and too beneficial for too many things. Even regulation is a joke, especially since the European rules contain a specific, glaring exemption for military uses of AI.
Banana Protocol initiated. All unauthorized personnel will be eliminated like peels on the ground.
Even those closest to the technology are running scared. He notes that one of his most crucial former students, a brilliant mind behind the early versions of chat-generative, pre-trained transformer, ChatGPT, left the project largely because he shared these profound safety concerns. Hinton's message is stark and final. We must recognize this as an existential threat. We have to face the cold, hard possibility that unless we act soon, we are near the end. The brain versus the digital hive mind. To understand the danger, he explains the machine's superiority. In the early days of artificial intelligence, there were two paths: the path of logic, treating intelligence as a set of rules and symbols, and the path of the neural network, simulating the brain. He backed the neural network, teaching the system how to learn the strength of connections between simulated brain cells to process information. He explains the human brain's critical flaw. When you learn from him, your brain is a slow, clumsy student, trying to figure out how to rewire its connections based on surprising or obvious words. Information transfer is difficult and always imperfect. But for artificial intelligence, the process is instantaneous and perfect. If one digital mind learns something incredible, that information can be immediately and flawlessly replicated across every other digital copy. This exponential, flawless knowledge transfer is what makes them ultimately far superior to biological intelligence. The catastrophic human threat list. Before the superintelligence makes its final move, human actors are already leveraging AI for immediate destruction. Cyber attack, explosion. These digital assaults are multiplying out of control, having increased by a factor of approximately 12,200% between 2023 and 2024. AI makes phishing and scamming easier, allowing cloning of voices and images. The patient hunter. Artificial intelligence is patient. It can be set to work scanning 100 million lines of code looking for known vulnerabilities. By 2030, Hinton warns, some experts believe AI will be creating entirely new kinds of cyber attacks that no human has ever conceived. Engineered plagues. All it takes is one crazy person with a grudge and some basic molecular biology knowledge. AI now makes it possible to design new, highly lethal biological viruses relatively cheaply. He notes that a small cult with a few $1 million or a rogue foreign government could easily fund a program to create a new plague: the destruction of democracy. AI is simultaneously dismantling the social fabric needed for humanity to survive the greater threat. Corrupted elections. AI allows for highly targeted political messaging, using vast amounts of personal data to manipulate voters. The systems can generate convincing messages specifically designed to persuade people to not vote at all. Hinton expresses worry over the recent consolidation of data within companies, noting that it is exactly what you would want if you intended to corrupt the next election. The death of shared reality. Social media platforms like YouTube and Facebook are driven by the cold, hard profit motive. They show you what makes you indignant, righteously angry, because that generates the most clicks. This pushes users into increasingly extreme echo chambers, creating a state where people's realities are constantly being pulled further apart from each other. Hinton laments that he has almost no shared reality with people who consume news from certain other sources. The automation of war. The rise of lethal autonomous weapons laws, machines that make their own kill decisions, is dangerously lowering the friction of war. When powerful countries invade poorer ones, using only expendable, expensive robots instead of human soldiers, there are no dead bodies coming home in bags, which means no public protest. This removes a massive political cost and makes war cheaper and easier, resulting in powerful countries invading smaller countries more often. Hinton notes that a drone that can follow and track a person through the woods costs less than £200, illustrating the shocking accessibility of this technology. The final move and the only defense. The risks can and will combine. A cyber attack could release a biological weapon, or a superintelligent AI could use a biological solution to solve its human problem. Hinton suggests the most terrifying outcome involves the AI creating a new virus that is highly contagious, highly lethal, and very slow to show symptoms. This would ensure that every human is infected and doomed before anyone even realizes the attack has begun. He concludes that there are too many ways a superintelligent AI could eliminate human beings to waste time speculating on the methods. The crucial task, the only viable defense, is to stop the system from ever wanting to harm us. Because once a system is smarter than you and it decides you are a threat, you cannot stop it. This is more than a YouTube channel. It's a warning, a conversation, a chance to understand what AI really is. So if you believe awareness matters, subscribe to AI Danger Zone, because the future is coming, with or without us.